I originally published the Thin Commandments in a book called Your Dieting Daughter. They've been republished in my new self-help book called 8 Keys to Recovery from an Eating Disorder. In my private practice, I'd be sitting with clients and they'd be coming to me saying all these sort of messages that they had in their head, all these rules that they followed, that they felt like they had to follow. They would continually say things like, I can't eat anything without punishing myself afterwards. Or what the scale says is the most important thing. It's more important than health. Or I have to buy clothes, cut my hair, starve myself, take laxatives, do anything as long as I look thin. So I started writing them down one day and I realized these are the commandments that these people follow. These are the Thin Commandments. In this culture, people feel like you can have a beautiful face, hair, complexion, but if you're not thin, you're not going to be considered attractive. You're not going to be considered desirable. In some ways, what's happened is everything has been reduced down to this obsession with weight and this obsession with thinness. And people start to feel like nothing else matters. One of the commandments, thou shalt know that what the scale says is the most important thing. That is the whole emphasis on a number, that a number can tell you something about who you are. I have people that wake up in the morning, they get on the scale, and that tells them how they're going to feel about themselves that day. That tells them they're actually measuring their self-worth rather than just measuring how many pounds they weigh. Another commandment is thou shalt not eat anything without punishing oneself afterwards. There's many ways of punishing myself, and one of the ways is I have to go work out and I have to work off all the calories that I just consumed. Other ways are I have to go make myself throw up my food, or I have to restrict and starve myself. When I was younger, I followed all these Thin Commandments. What I thought was going to give me a life where I felt better about myself and was successful and got more didn't give me that life. It gave me a sheltered life, gave me an isolated life, it gave me a life where I was at war with myself and my body. And I got past those Thin Commandments and I learned a different way of being in the world, and I made peace with my body and with food. And so really my life's work is teaching other people how to do the same. We have people in this country at war with their bodies. It's like their body is this thing. It's not a living, breathing entity that they need to treat in a healthy way. It's this thing, it's this object that lives below their head that they have to shape and mold and force to be in a certain way. I actually see my job as teaching people how to get back to a natural relationship with food in their bodies, even if you don't have an eating disorder and you've just been a long-term dieter, or you just are at war with your body. The goal ultimately is leaving the Thin Commandments behind and going into a world where you make peace with food and your body. That truly is freedom.